He did not seem happy with that call, but
Right. It looked clean to me, but then again, we are a good 50 yards away from the action.
and I think I definitely was mistaken on the last play because this is Brendan Adams.
This is Brendan Adams here. Yeah, I believe it was, well, they were wearing the 35 jersey, whether that's actually number 35. And we see Elliot Moore with a sweet layout. He's going to swing the disc around to Mick Walter. Mick Walter getting some offensive touches. He does like to handle even though he's giant. Goes to Matt Bierschenk with a classic low flick, and is he injured on that? No, he's still okay.
And that's number 13, Aubrey Davis.
Right, Aubrey kind of managed to find a clump of artificial grass to step on and mess up his gait. And with that turnover, Atlanta Hustle gets a quick transition and score using that short field. And with this, the Austin Soul are going to let the Atlanta Hustle back into the game. Classic Austin Soul. Atlanta Hustle only down by 1 point at this stage.
Okay, and so I apologize to everybody that was waiting for the YouTube stream to go up. Now we are on YouTube, ready to go.
Right.
There were some technical difficulties there going on, but hi. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it.
Right. Yeah, we did not check all of the check boxes. There is a new process we are implementing. Technically, I could blame this one on Greg Villatella, but this is all of our fault. So go ahead. You know, if you really want to be that angry, hit that downvote button.
I want to blame AISD for not letting us stream on their Wi-Fi.
Right. I want to say that I love AISD. Thank you for letting us use House Pipe. And with this, Austin Soul receiving the disc. They have their standard offensive line. This is the Kieran Thomas, DJ, Tank, Paul Starkle offensive line with some youth in there with Kyle Hinkie. And there's the youth snagging it.
That's Kyle Hinkie's third score of the game.
Big time Kyle Hinkie. Still hasn't managed to put on a Superman cape just yet. Hasn't needed it. But I guarantee you he's got that ready to go.
I think I'll be okay if we don't need it.
Right. Hopefully that's not necessary this game. Just to catch y'all up on the standings, the Atlanta Hustle are 4-1 currently. The Austin Soul are 3-3. Austin Soul had a tough loss to the Dallas Roughnecks in the last week. That could have really changed the standings. Unfortunately, it did not. The Atlanta Hustle has had mostly wins against Tampa Bay and Nashville. However, Atlanta Hustle is playing Dallas tomorrow. This is part of their weekend road trip to Texas that all the teams get to do in the South Division. So we will see how they perform on their second day tomorrow.
Yeah, right now you have Atlanta at 1 and Dallas at 2 in this division. So it'll be really interesting to see who comes up with that win tomorrow.
Very important game.
Oh, and that
should be a pretty easy score. Yep. That throw did not have to be perfect because he was so wide open. And that is 22 for the Atlanta Hustle. Oh, we lost our sheet.
Oh, I found it.
I need to be learning these players' names.
Taylor Minch.
Taylor Minch getting open in the back. Atlanta Hustle very easily going through and scoring that one.
Yeah, and again, we're going to see this just really experienced O-line coming out here for the Austin Soul.
Yeah, I guarantee you the wind is no factor to this group. They have played in many windier situations. I know we say this a lot, but this is the old school double wide line coming back to school the young kids, show them how to play the game.
Yeah, I think they all just kind of made a pact this year to kind of come together and play. And there was an offsides on the Atlanta Soul. So we're going to see a repull. Or not. It's going to come in right there at the brick. Atlanta seemed to think that there was going to be a repull in effect. But Max Cook is going to take it at half field for the Soul. I see a wide open Ethan Pollock. There we go. Good swing. And there we go to Kieran Thomas. He picks that up past a bidding Will Lindquist. And that was a D there by number 23. Oh, there's a call on the field. Seems to be a timeout called. And that D previously was by number 23, Sun Choi. Probably going to see Atlanta put their O-line out here, try to make sure they can tie this game up before the first quarter's over. Really just aggressive playing you're seeing by the Hustle right now. They really seem to find their stride and their movement in this game so far. They definitely seem to come out a little slow in the beginning. You see Austin go out to that 4-1 lead. And now the Hustle is just firmly back in this game. Dougal is currently working a little bit with the stream to make sure everything's working. So I'm kind of alone here, just chilling. But yeah, it's really great seeing the Soul out here. Really love seeing the guys out here in House Park. It's a really great venue. And we really love House Park for having us all out here all the time. We see Atlanta has kind of set up in their isolation stack. And there we have it. We kind of seem to have kind of a Chase playing one-man back, so that's leaving one person open downfield. And there we see Jared Wolf with that run through D. And it seemed to work out, leaving Chase poaching in the backfield there. Oh, and you see Chase really wants to huck it, but oh, he gets that inside to Jared Wolf, to Elliott Moore. Then you see it to Andrew Walsh, back to Elliott Moore. Oh, and he puts it up kind of in the corner. And I'm not sure that got in. Nope, the ref is signaling it out. Elliott Moore put just a little too much on that. And that's the end of the quarter. We'll be back in a couple seconds for the beginning of this second quarter.
We're good now? Okay, welcome back, y'all. We just got the Facebook live stream going. We got the YouTube stream going, so now y'all are actually with us. We are coming back after the end of the first quarter. Austin Soul with the disc going against this Atlanta Hustle zone. Once again, they have been consistently sticking with this on their defensive lines, so I imagine this is not going away anytime soon. And we can see Austin doing what they need to, which is to get those throws through the middle of the field. That is really how you beat this type of zone. Swinging side to side doesn't help you a whole lot in the short game. What you really need to do is get one of those throws through the middle, which opens up successive throws that you can do after that. However, Atlanta Hustle also know this, and you can tell that that's the one throw they're trying to shut down. So with this battle, it continues to go around. Austin Soul continuing to throw the disc, stuck on the sideline.
Yeah, they're really setting that double team when you get anywhere near that sideline.
Right.
And Soul just breaks it around.
Right, so they finally got that throw through the middle, which allowed all their next throws through the middle to be wide open. And with that, they went on a good 30-yard run, getting a whole bunch of easy short throws. And with this, they are about 30 yards out of the end zone. We can hear the fans chanting from the other side. Close D opportunity, and with that, Kyle Hinkie in the back again. That one wasn't necessarily a great play, but he's okay with that padding his stats. Kyle Hinkie getting, his fourth score of the game now?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I think he's okay. He just kind of stands there in the end zone and knows
Right.
his plus minus is just going to keep going up.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be the first one to point that out after the game when the stats come through.
And there we go. Austin Soul takes a 7-5 lead. It really would have been nice to see that be 8-5 if that end of quarter.
Oh,
pass
right.
had
I was not
brought
seeing the
down.
shenanigans at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, Elliot Moore kind of threw it out of bounds.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
I will see that one on the replay. Oh boy, I can see two young gentlemen walking their way up the steps. We have
They're
these.
kind of tired already.
We,
They
we
don't
see
really.
the sold out crew coming up here. I don't know why they're coming up here to
They had
distract
to take
us.
a little mid-step break.
I'm sorry.
And they've stopped
Oh,
again.
they're stopping again. Okay, we have the disc coming in for the Atlanta Hustle. They're running their sort of side stack, sort of vert stack ISO situation. We have Burns, 81, with the disc going to Matt Smith, number 12. He doesn't have a whole lot of options downfield, but he does manage to find number 99. Goes back around. Short throws once again for Atlanta, happy to move it slowly.
There's number 99 again with the disc, kind of looking for that quick. And just a drop right there from number 81, and that's J.P. Burns with the drop.
Right, we can see them moving the disc quite a bit. Oh no, I was not told I was going to be on the camera today.
Gramps, am I live?
Sorry, y'all, the sold out crew.
You got
is
me
up
on
here
there?
distracting
Oh,
us.
man.
And they're now on the live stream, too.
Oh, we see a huge deep shot.
Dom and Dukes.
But
Hey,
it
guys.
does not get
Hey,
up into the
Gladwell.
air as much as they would have liked from Brandon Adams.
Uh-huh.
And
Dougal's
now
going to
there's
ignore
a
me the entire
turnover.
time. I'd
I'm-
prefer a proper introduction.
I'm
He's
sorry.
on the stream. He's been plugged in.
Oh, he's just plugged in. Oh, that's.
Plugged
Oh,
in.
actually, I was going to ignore you in order to be professional.
That's too bad.
But
You're-
now that I know that you're in the stream,
Your sound
You
guy,
can't ignore him.
your sound guy, Gramps over there, just plugged me straight in.
Right.
He gave me 48 volts of Phantom, and here we are,
That's
talking to you
absolutely
live.
correct.
Phantom really
And
going.
so we can see Atlanta Hustle moving around
Oh.
with bumping up the disc.
No.
However, same player. Oh no, this is number 99. Never mind, not same player. Now we go to Burns, and he's looking to make it back from his previous mistake. Throws the
Nope.
flick
Oh,
up
he sure
line,
didn't, though.
And
No,
the,
he's got a -2 on this play right now.
the
What's that
win-
guy's real name?
Burns.
It's actually
Burns?
Burns. Yeah.
I'm going to call him Dodo Biscuit.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You
That
know
guy's-
that this is a professional stream, right?
Is it? Okay,
I
that's
think
fine.
so. I don't know.
This is the cleanest I've ever been on
No-
the
no
microphone.
F-bombs getting dropped here?
Just so
No
you know, that
F-bombs.
is a fact.
A lot of freaks and fricks. Nick Whale! Nick Whale with a
yeah.
nice grab over the shoulder.
By the way, this is Dr. Flatball. If anybody wanted to know on the stream, who is not familiar with our popular Sold Out podcast,
Check
you
them
should
out.
really check them out.
They're on
kind
YouTube.
of amazing.
And we see Elliot Moore going to Matt Biersank, who is 2 yards from the end zone.
Oh, beautiful.
Layout attempt was not successful, and Mick Walter snagging it in the end zone, getting
You know-
himself a little score.
You know what? I'm going to give a little bit of sold out insight on this one, guys.
Okay, let's hear it.
I got in line right behind Mick Walter at the snack bar.
Oh, right.
And
yes.
I'm talking 3 minutes before the opening pull of this
Of
game. And
course.
Mick,
Of course.
Mick Walter was buying a pack of Skittles and
Yep.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Absolutely.
And
Just one?
He waltzed over. Yeah, just one. Amazingly enough.
Right.
I mean, there's two cups in the pack.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, as we're all familiar with
Yes,
PVCs,
we are
right?
all,
Yeah.
we are all familiar. I'm glad you also say Reese's.
Reese's.
Reese's. No,
What did I
Reese's.
say? Reese's
You
the
said
first time?
Reese's the first
Like
time.
the monkey.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
so for those that don't know, Mick Walter got his humble beginnings on a team called Special Tactics, and that team had a choose-your-own warm-up policy, which Mick Walter was obviously a fan of, trying to implement that here in the Austin Soul game. And, there was some magic trickery on that pull from Austin Soul. Did you see what type of spin they put on that? They managed to confuse the Atlanta Hustle team.
All I know is it rolled out the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
It rolled
there was
out
Now
the back.
coming in on the back. Let's see if we can.
There was
Right, and
some
this is-
Sampras-esque topspin on that pull.
That's what it was. Bringing back a
This
1990s
is probably the tightest
reference.
defense I've seen the Soul play all season.
And now Jared Wolf is in the back. And wow, he got up. My goodness. Does Jared Wolf still do leg day?
I would think he has to at this
Yeah,
point.
I think at this stage, because he just proved
What
it there.
was that?
And we see Carlos Vargas with a beautiful hammer.
Ugh.
I mean, it came in real hot, but it was beautiful. Went
You
to
know,
the corner.
what's more beautiful? Carlos Vargas' hammer or Carlos Vargas himself?
I was going to go with
that's a-
Stephen Najee's beard, but since,
Oh.
since that wasn't one of the options.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
going to
the-
go with the hammer.
the hammer? Really? Oh, Mijo's
I don't
so
want to
beautiful.
step on Hicks's toes.
Wow.
Understandable.
This is coming out hot. We're not going to explain that reference for the people at home. And the Atlanta Hustle bringing
It's
it at the
his
disc
girlfriend.
on the corner. They had to throw the disc away last time on a deep shot because they were stuck in the back with a high stall count. We're going to see if Austin Soul could put on that defense again. Carlos Vargas on D now.
And Parker Bray with an uncharacteristic drop.
Right, he was running full speed, so it was very, very tight for him, and just a little bit too difficult. Now Elliot Moore is 5 yards from the end zone, walks very easily, throws the disc to Jared Wolf, and the Austin Soul go up 9-5. You know, I don't want to admit it, but it seems that you might be a little bit of good luck for us.
Yeah, absolutely,
Because
man.
Austin Soul was chilling at 7-5 before you
Well,
showed
let's
up.
see what the
and
score's at now.
Now we are
Oh.
over at 9-5.
9 to
Austin
5.
Soul up in the
Working
lead.
9-2-5. You Dolly fan? I'm a Dolly fan.
I
Yeah.
am a little bit of a Dolly fan.
Absolutely. I mean, who isn't? Jared Wolf is, and Jared Wolf just scored. He got what is commonly referred to as bookends
Oh, right.
Yes.
on that point.
Right.
Congratulations, Jared.
Yeah, I was surprised to see nobody else was really demonstrating the bookend symbol,
Yeah.
which we all know is to put your hands on your head. We'll explain that one on the Sold Out broadcast.
Wow. You guys are both doing it.
I'm expecting a section on the Sold Out broadcast.
Yeah, about how to bookends
Right,
properly.
about how to
No, I
also,
won't-
make sure to teach the reverse bookends, which is not as glamorous. That's what I have more experience with.
That's getting D'd on and
Let
getting
it
scored
go.
on.
And then yeah, that's correct. And now Atlanta Hustle coming back in, and they went in with an immediate give-go deep shot.
To Parker Bray, of course.
Parker Bray in the deep space.
He's okay.
Gets up, goes lefty backhand. What a beautiful. I'm assuming he's not lefty. As he goes for a lefty backhand score to number
This
11.
is Kelvin Williams.
Kelvin Williams. We've been seeing him in the deep space. And this time he manages to run in and, offensively and get a score in the end zone. Atlanta Hustle doing what they need to do on their offensive line to stop this momentum swing.
Yeah, and you see again, of course, our favorite O-line here out for the Austin
What,
Soul.
what do you call this O-line there, Dr. Flatball?
This is the 401k line.
The 401k line.
All of these guys have very they have retirement accounts that
Right,
some of
right.
them have commas.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
assuming they get the employee match on that 401k.
Absolutely. I
Right,
mean,
right.
these are the guys. These are the smartest guys in the room. I know
actually
we're
heard that
outdoors.
one of them was a moderator on personal finance on Reddit. Is actually what I heard.
That's absolutely true. I didn't know that was a Reddit. That's not what I use Reddit for. The finance. But then, hey, look who we got in the back here.
Kyle
Just
Hickey.
scoring all the points and
Right,
holding
he's
it down.
a machine. I'm gonna wager that he's not gonna score this one because he's hanging out on that side. But now he's running deep. Kyle Hickey is open. Max Cook has the disc, doesn't throw to him though. Plays it safe, goes to Kieran Thomas.
I think we really are always going to see that from our
Right.
group of defenders.
Oh,
and
no.
Kyle Hankey
Oh,
gets
no.
D'd.
Gets D'd. I guess the other team figured out that he is a good fast player, and they stepped up the defense.
That was number 81, J.P. Burns, or
Right,
whatever
we've
fun
been seeing a
nickname
lot
you
of
gave
him.
him
Yeah,
earlier.
that was Dodo Biscuit.
Dodo Biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay, I imagine that's not going to stick.
You don't think
And-
Dodo Biscuit's gonna stick?
No. And now we can see the Atlanta. I believe that's Atlanta Hustle calling the timeout, right?
Yeah, I think they're really going to try to put their O-line in here.
Right.
And
So
try to
they're
get a
they're
break.
they're feeling the situation. You know, Austin got a couple breaks in a row thanks to the presence of the sold out crew.
Yep,
And
yep.
now they are looking to counteract that. They're aware
Well-
of what's affecting the luck on their side.
Look, I see what you're doing, man. I can leave whenever. You
No,
know
I
what?
like having
Oh, I
you.
mean,
like
no,
having
obviously
me?
I
it's
do
working
like
out.
having you here.
Yeah, okay, good. Because
Right.
I'm way too tired after climbing these bleachers.
Right. Y'all
to-
did not
to
see
get
it,
out
but
of
it
here
took them
quite
several
yet.
attempts to climb the
It
steps.
did.
Mm-hmm.
It
Got
was
it.
a really nice progress.
Yeah.
I really
Wh-
enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, me and Nice D, we did we had a base camp, and then we had a camp 2 there in the middle of the bleachers. And unfortunately, we lost our Sherpa Yanke. He's somewhere frozen in the ice.
I don't know how it's possible considering it's about 90 degrees right now.
Yeah,
in
that's
Austin,
true.
Texas.
It's extremely hot.
Maybe he melted into a puddle.
It's
There we go.
possible as well. He's not used to the high temps or the low altitudes.
No.
Both problems.
Nice D, how you doing down there?
Oh, Nice D is watching the live stream. I assume that our likes are just plummeting right now. I would assume that we're definitely in the negative. Right.
Yeah,
Anemic.
quite possibly.
So I'm going to hold off on asking people to like the stream until later.
Yeah.
Once I hit them with some ads, then we'll do
Yeah.
the usual round.
Well,
Okay,
wait.
Atlanta Hustle coming back in after the timeout.
I'm
They
going
have-
to guess it's an isolation vert stack.
I mean, that's what we're going to guess. So we're going to think they're going to come from the front. Is that what we're
Yep.
guessing out
Look,
of this?
they came from the front.
Yeah,
right
we
there.
ran the dump set. We got the front of the stack coming back to get the disc. He does not manage to get the around throw, though. We see Jared Wolf doing what he needs to do and not giving off that break. And they're going to try to go back to him, but they can't. And now they're going to have to huck it. Atlanta Hustle goes deep. We can see Elliot Moore back there.
Oh, and he
wow.
comes down with the disc.
Number 4. Who is that? I need to learn that guy's name.
Number 4 is Player Pierce. His first name really is Player.
And he
You're
almost
kidding
manages
me.
to get the
No,
disc
I'm
on that
not.
deep throw.
See, it's right there. Player
Whoa.
Pierce.
Man,
Okay, so I
hey,
will-
nice D.
That one is noted. He got a great snag.
His
a great
name
catch
is really
in the
Player.
middle of all of the Austin Soul players, and then
That's
he
great.
almost managed to get the score in the back. And now Austin Soul bring it up to the line. We've already seen one really nice deep throw from number 35. I don't know if that was his intended target, but Walsh gets it and goes deep to Jared Wolf. Jared is wide open. Leaves the
Oh,
defense
man.
behind.
That was beautiful. Just
Great toss from Walsh. Those guys teach together. They coach together.
Wow.
They play golf on the weekends together.
I don't really see Walsh as a golf guy.
He's not. He's there, I think, for the ice cold 16-ounce Lone Stars.
There
yes,
we
that
go. Yep.
would make a little bit more sense.
At
Man,
this
I-
point brought to you by Lone Star. Extra crisp on a cool Texas evening.
Apologies to all of you watching outside of Texas. You don't understand Lone Star and our
Please
affinity
come
for
to
it.
Texas.
That's unfortunate. We
Maybe
can
you have a local beer that's kind of a little bit better than a Bud Light,
Yeah.
but
Right.
not really, that you'd like to let us know about.
Right,
Yeah.
feel free to post in the YouTube comments.
Gonna get a lot of
Once again,
Yingling
anything that y'all want
comments.
to post. If y'all
Oh,
want to give
we
us
are going to get a lot of
So
you.
much
I'm
Yingling is
sorry,
about
sorry,
to hit
I'm
that.
trying to keep these two on track. If y'all want to post any fun facts about the Atlanta Hustle, we'll make sure to read those at halftime. Give you a shout out. We like any sort of extra information that can come in, and we see Atlanta Hustle working their same, kind of vert stack, kind of ISO stack that they like to run.
I have
And
an
now they're
interesting fact
swinging
about the
back
Hustle.
around.
Oh, what is that?
They have a player named Dodo Biscuit.
Still pushing that one. Don't know if that's going to stick.
Gonna catch on.
It
we can
kind of
s-
seems like it's going to stick.
We see Bray right on the end zone. He has a wide open player in the corner, gets 1 foot in.
And that's in.
That one is number 3.
Oh, number 3, I have the list here. Number 3 is Matthew Knowles. He is one of the captains for this Atlanta Hustle team.
Very nice. Doing what
The
he
other
needs to do.
captain is Matt Smith and Christian Olson.
All right, we've seen big plays from all 3 of those players so far, showing why they are the captains of this squad.
Very true.
And they are still trying to come back from that 2-break run that Austin went on when we went from 7-5 to 9-5 in a hurry. And this will be their opportunity to do that.
Looks like we got the 401k line back out there, guys.
Oh,
I feel like
absolutely.
we're always going to expect this line out here as our nice O-line.
Right,
Yeah.
they're working on about 12% returns year over year currently,
Absolutely.
doing very well in the market.
I
You know?
understand none of this because I'm still in college.
Oh, that's okay.
Don't worry.
It'll make slightly more sense by the time you're 30.
Lovely. I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
You know, DJ, he's expecting a second child, so
Yes.
he's never felt like more of a man out there. Great under to find Pollock.
And we can see Kyle Hinkie once again hanging out of the deep space.
Feel like that's his favorite place.
Oh, he's
to be.
open now too. Unbelievable. Kyle Hinkie.
That game. Is that goal number 5?
Right, he's just been cleaning up back there. He's
That's
really
5?
appreciating.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have a stats department?
No.
Yeah.
You should. You have an R&D?
So I have
No.
thought about the stats
Graphics?
department. That'll that's the,
We're streaming. That's a graphic.
That's
Right.
I guess there's our graphics happening.
for those
sort
of y'all that are not aware, we have a one-man production crew. Greg Militello who is anxiously working through all of the technology at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to explain to y'all how many dongles we have going in and out of that MacBook.
It's a lot.
For those of y'all that know at home, Macs love to use dongles, and not the most fun thing in the world.
Man, doing a heck of a job over there, Gramps.
Absolutely. He might even be getting us some replays from time to time. Not entirely sure. He does. He's giving me the thumbs up.
Yep.
So that means people at home have been treated to some replays. We're pretty much at Ultiworld quality over here. And we can see Austin Soul pulling the disc off. This is one of their defensive lines. This is the Mick Walter, Josh Stradowski,
Tall line.
Matt Biershank variety of D line.
Also short line.
Yeah, this is the muscle line.
Right,
This is the zone line.
We can see Cameron. We can see Nicholas Whale. We can see Aubrey Davis out there.
Yep.
Brandon Adams. And they are
Not doing a good job.
Yeah, that zone.
Not a great zone
I
setup
mean, it
right
is
now.
forcing throws. I'm not going to say a lot of throws, but it is forcing throws, so that's nice.
Looks like they've gone into man.
Right, at this point, they have broken out of the zone, and Atlanta Hustle are 20 yards away. They are knocking on the doorstep. They swing it back to the middle.
And Matt Smith is wide open.
Right,
Not
that is
sure
not
if
the
that's
player
a
you
great
want to leave
call.
open, I'll tell you that much. And Bush just hops into the end zone very easily, scoring that throw. Atlanta Hustle never really struggled on that point. They did that one exactly like they did in warm-up. I saw them doing 3-on-3 in tight spaces during warm-up, and you can see that paid off for them on that offensive point.
I guess 3v3 does pay off. I never really understood it for a field this large.
Right. Yeah, just wait until you
There you
coach.
go.
Yeah.
The hustle really putting it into practice there. Guys, I'm going to give a big shout out to the music department across the way there for playing the Imperial March every time
Yes.
that the
Absolutely.
hustle scores.
Yeah, that is standard operating procedure
Absolutely.
for our crew up in the booth.
They also played it when they introduced the team at the beginning of the game.
Oh, that's good. We really like
Yeah.
to know or let them know where they stand around here. And if we see them at the tavern after the game, we just slap them as hard as we can right
And
in
give
the
them a
face.
beer.
Right,
And then
probably
we give them
buy
a
the
beer.
beer, yeah. And we can see once again the old man double wide line coming back out. Once again, tell them young guns how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see Ethan Pollock on the sideline. Also played on the double wide squad. I like to think Ethan's younger, but he also played with these guys. Tank hanging out in the middle, trying to get the disc, but Atlanta Hustle doing what they need to stop the easy throws. You can see Max Cook swinging it around to DJ. Still nothing open in the middle. Austin having to lose yards, and that is the first throw through the middle going to Tank. He gets a second throw through the middle to Kieran Thomas. We have Kyle Hinkey in the deep space.
Kieran very chilly with the disc, just looking to.
Right, he doesn't want to be the reason why this one turns over, and that is
Oh.
a hammer.
Going right over the top
That
there
That
to
was even
Ethan
more
Pollock.
of a blade. I'm not sure that ever turned over. He did not. Oh my.
Oh, he's
okay,
still
I
open.
will say that might have been a little too
Ethan
chilly.
Pollock just dominated that point.
And
we can
Parker Bray just maxed it right
Right.
into Tank's hands.
Right. He has to be thinking, man, why didn't I lay out for that? And Ethan Pollock was really the one that was pivotal on that point, hanging on the sideline, doing what he needed to do, swinging the disc around, throwing a hammer, getting the disc back, and throwing the score afterwards.
Oh, you kicked my mic.
And we can see Austin Soul running that solid offensive line. It's really been the key for them this game, not having any bad turnovers.
I like this song. I wonder who it's by.
There's currently a song playing out of the PA system that's by a prominent local band.
Oh, most
Really?
excellent.
What's the name of that local
A
band?
prominent local band named Full Service.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I've never heard
Yeah.
of them. They
Can
can't
you-
be that special.
Could you
They're
could you
really
happen to
not.
find them on a Facebook page or a YouTube channel? Is that possible?
I found them on Craigslist. I was just looking for a roommate.
Well, I wasn't trying to go into that. But anyways, back to the game. Atlanta Hustle coming out of their offensive line. They were trying to run their ISOs through the middle, but it's getting clogged, so they're going to go to the sideline.
This is great.
Oh,
And Olsen throwing a deep shot to number 99. Cameron getting in there, but
just
not-
caught it right above his head.
Right. He sacrificed the position to get in close to the disc, and because of that, wasn't able to jump.
And that again is number 99, Robert Hunt, with the score for this hustle.
He's been getting busy for the hustle. He's been catching the disc a lot, been an important cutter in the middle of the field, and that time catches the score.
I think despite him getting scored on that point, special commendations to Cameron Daftari for playing his way back onto the roster.
Yes.
He
Absolutely.
was started out the season as just a practice player and exhibited a lot of hustle and drive during practice,
Huh,
and got
hustle
bumped
fun.
up to oh man, my bad. See, this is why I don't try and be serious ever. You know?
We need to put a disclaimer on the video
Yeah.
when Sold Out comes in to do the commentary.
Yeah,
I'll talk to our production crew.
yeah.
about
Maybe
getting
there
that for
could be a
next week.
convenient audio glitch. at that point in the game.
There will be after the fact. But for those of y'all watching live, you get to enjoy the live stream.
That's great.
And Austin coming back out with the old man double wide line. We get DJ swinging to the middle to Paul Starkle, getting some play time in with these old guys. Going to Tank on the sideline. He has Kyle Hinkey deep, but Tank is not going to do that. Too chilly. He's not going to throw that.
Too smart. Too smart.
Absolutely. And we have Ethan Pollock also running deep now. I think he's doing that to open up Kyle Hinkey. He wasn't really committing to the deep run.
Be a bit of a loose cannon, but in a good way.
So lots of deep throws.
I tried to kill a bug on my arm.
Unless he runs into the deep space, then he would like to be thrown too, I would imagine.
He seems to be the one that generally throws it.
Yeah, I would say that Chase, when he has the disc in his hand and there's 5 seconds left, you can feel pretty good about yourself. That Frisbee's going to make it to the end zone.
Absolutely.
So he will be out there on that line. I could just about guarantee it.
And it's so nice. The sun is finally set. I don't feel like I'm dying anymore.
Yeah.
It's a really great feeling.
It's cooled off to a nice chilly 86 degrees
right.
here.
Well, the main key is the sun is not in your face, so that's the thing we can all appreciate.
I'm probably already sunburned, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. And we can see Atlanta Hustle coming out in what I'm going to guess is their zone D line, and Austin Soul coming out in their pretty standard offensive line. I don't think they're missing any of their key offensive players.
Nope. They definitely took that timeout, and it looks like they got them watered up and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine they're looking at this and they're saying we're gonna use the remaining minute 14. We're gonna get the last score of the half, and we're gonna go into the third quarter feeling good about ourselves. That is the game plan from Austin. We will see if it turns out the way that Bigley drew it up in the huddle.
I'm hoping for it.
And we can see Max Cook picking up the disc, going to DJ. We can see, Atlanta Hustle is coming out in the zone just like we thought they would. That is the first throw through the middle going to Tank. He did not like the second throw to Kieran Thomas. And so they're going to go back and not get all the big, huge yards from it. We can see Tank being guarded one-on-one in the middle.
It looks like they've almost switched to man.
Right. Oh. Those are always the most confusing zones when you can't tell if it is a person defense or if it is a zone defense. And now Tank has an open Kyle Hinkey, but he had to throw the inside flick, and he doesn't want to risk that. Common theme from this old man double wide line. Oh, what a sweet layout. It has to be a foul.
There we go.
Yeah, we can even see the Atlanta Hustle player. If the refs weren't going to call it, he was going to call it. That was a early layout from Knowles.
Right into what looked like Tank's back.
Right, and it was. With that being said, Tank should have caught that. Let's keep it real. That is an excuse to get that foul call. He zips a flick in there. That's a flick that could have gone 40 yards. He was throwing it 10 yards. And a give-go backhand, no mark, throws the score to Max Cook with 12 seconds left. Austin Soul up 13-10.
Anything could happen in 12 seconds, folks.
You think
We've
we're joking
definitely seen
about
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You think
I
we're
like it.
joking about that.
We've seen weirder things. Don't put Cecil on the field, whatever you do.
Well, go
No.
back and watch that Raleigh Flyers game, and you will see some crazy buzzer beaters.
That was too real.
Yeah, it was pretty real.
Cecil's not rostered.
Oh, okay, good. We're safe then. We're dishing it out equally, folks.
Don't worry, y'all. I will make sure to go back and to mute all statements from Dr. Flatball after the fact.
Absolutely.
To improve the quality of this broadcast. But for the time being, those of y'all watching live get to enjoy this first
Oh,
hit.
and they put 20 seconds on the clock.
Oh, so they added 7
Anybody know
seconds.
why?
What's that?
I imagine that the point got scored and the clock kept running, and so they put some more time
Oh,
on
and
there.
there's the poll.
And so Atlanta Hustle getting the disc moving quickly. So the clock starts right now. They're getting some easy
I think you're
yards
really
to start
going
with.
to see people just kind of hang
Run
out. in
deep,
the
right? So we got
space.
Bush number 20 deep. He's hanging out back there.
Oh,
Chase
and
Cunningham.
there
Disc
you go.
is up in the air.
And it does not go far enough.
And look who's got it.
Austin Soul's got 6 seconds. Oh, boost it. Boost
Put
it,
it, Jay.
Jared. Oh, that does not go high enough.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, that was okay.
And
Catch it.
sadly,
And
Austin
Jared
Soul
knows.
could
You
not
can kind of see him on the
capitalize
field.
on the turnover. And with that, we are going to go. That is the end of the
Halftime.
first half. Do y'all want to give any closing thoughts on what you saw in the first half?
Absolutely. I'd like to say that Kyle Hankey is in control out there.
Absolutely.
I think he had 5 points in the first
Yep.
half.
Yes, and
The
one
guy
drop.
is quickly. Let's not talk about that. We only talk about Cecil's drops. Kyle Hankey
drops.
quickly becoming an offensive linchpin, especially in the deep space. And I'd like to see him keep it up in the second half.
Absolutely.
Also, you guys are both doing great.
Oh, I
Thanks for
appreciate
letting
it.
me infiltrate your broadcast for a little bit here.
Yeah, I did not sign off on that, I would like to say.
I think it's amazing. I enjoy having flat ball up here.
Yeah.
Nice D is also a nice touch.
And if anyone out there is within driving distance of House Park, I think Nice D and I are going to go for a halftime beer over at the tavern.
Okay.
Feel free to join us, everybody.
So y'all have 11 minutes. Good luck.
We got 11
You're
minutes.
gonna have to-
11. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. We're
Frisbee,
introducing.
Frisbee.
A
we're
new
gonna-
halftime
Oh yeah,
game.
it's
You have
halftime. We
11
gotta go.
minutes.
Hold on.
Go do
What
that.
about what are you eating? What about that halftime show?
Oh,
one died
halftime
really
snack
quickly.
time.
Yeah, halftime snack
Yeah,
time.
it was.
Yeah.
You
It
have
failed
10
in beta.
minutes.
It failed in beta hard.
Okay. Well, anyways, y'all, thanks for being up here.
Thanks again, guys.
Really have
My
enjoyed
pleasure.
Okay, and we are going to take a break for halftime. There's about 12 minutes till the next half game. Next half starts. Go and get yourself some water, get yourself some food, some popcorn. Be ready. We have Austin Soul up 13-10. Very exciting second half. Thank you all. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
are tied. And Austin could be better last time. I mean, you really can't do better than getting the Colombian national team for the first game. Yeah. Like the country. Yeah, there's their national team, their women's team.
Are they on tour?
Yeah, I don't really know how they convinced them to come. They do a lot of travel circuits. And then, yeah, you get Austin, Dallas after that. That's a solid number. Oh yeah, yeah, they're an incredible. They've beat Team USA several times, which is incredible for women's. Team USA women's should just dominate everybody. So, that's pretty good. I have no idea, to be honest, because I don't think their men's team is weak. Okay. Yeah, that women's team is like an actual professional team. They've been doing this for a lot of years.
Yeah, some good ones.
Like nothing the first quarter.
Yeah. I feel like this is a really fast game. It's 8:15 and halftime's already over, almost over.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's because of the wind and turnovers and long points.
Upstairs.
Scared.
We're the main party.
You ready to party?
Would you like a water?
What kind of water?
Normal water? Down there somewhere.
I thought it was the most whatever that was, but I think the stands is like heating up or cooling down, popping. It's crazy.
I'm actually okay with it. We have eight
3 bars now. I'm pretty confident in 3 bars.
I ran into whoever I was just like tapping attention like just talking to a teacher during office hours, and he just randomly shows up and starts talking to me in the middle of my office hours when I does it, and I'm like, what? But this is kind of
Say again?
And he's 3 balls now.
All the way off. Yeah, actually overexposed it sort of towards the end of that last quarter for a few seconds. Hopefully the live streamers didn't mind.
I couldn't see shit the whole like first quarter.
You couldn't see shit because it was in your eyes? The sun was in your eyes?
I couldn't see my watch over, I couldn't see anything the whole first quarter.
Because of the sun?
Like blinding me the whole time.
You just had that little, you need like an actual hood, huh?
Something I was having to get like the close stop for probably just blinded.
I guess I'm going to start recording. It's down to like, I'll start recording in 30 seconds.
oh my gosh, it's Thomas Red I don't care.
Rolling red, rolling red. Rolling red, rolling red.
Greg's turning us up. Welcome back in, everybody. This is the second half of the Austin Soul versus Atlanta Hustle. Atlanta has made the journey down to Austin for their doubleheader between Austin Soul and Dallas Roughnecks tomorrow night. We are joined in the booth by Dominica Sutherland,
Hello.
taking in this wonderful game. It has been a very fast-paced game. We've seen the first half finish in just under an hour, which is very quick for AUDL standards. And the general theme has been a couple of key breaks for Austin. We have seen turnovers from Austin, but not nearly as many as from the Atlanta Hustle offensive line. And that has really been the key in the game. It's just been the conversions. And we can see Austin Soul pulling off the disc. Chase Cunningham giving a big, huge rip on
Seems
defense.
like there's a little bit less wind right now.
There
than
does
was
feel
in
up
the first
here.
half.
However, those flags are waving super hard over there, so I'm not entirely sure. We see Matt Smith running deep, but he's being guarded closely by Cameron. And it is not second time Cameron has been beat in the deep space. Even though he's been there, the offensive player has done too good of a job boxing out.
Yeah,
And-
Matt Smith just took the lane on that and kept Cameron on the wrong side for
Which
that
is
entire
very,
play.
very impressive, because I would not call either player tall. However, we could see a slight height mismatch, but Matt Smith don't care. He will box out. He will score against you. So good solid play from Atlanta Hustle, running their offensive line, doing what they need to do. Just a couple of throws to get that score. And now we can see Austin trying to retaliate. They have their own offensive line out there. And yeah, this is the standard Max Cook, DJ, Kieran Thomas, Tank, Ethan Pollock, O-line, being joined by Young Guns, Kyle Hinkey, and Paul Starkle.
Our lovely new nicknamed 401k line.
Yeah, that was a good one. Thank you, Dr. Flatball, for giving us that, Jim.
For those of you that missed the end of the first half, you missed a
We had
lovely
we
commentary
had a
from
guest
Dr. Flatball.
commentator. And so we can see this line doing what they do best, which is be chill and throw the dump. And we can see Max Cook with the disc. Doesn't like his original player. Goes to Ethan Pollock on the cut-up line. Kyle Hinkey making the undercut. There was a travel on the throw. I thought there was a travel when he threw it, but I wasn't going to say anything. And with that, Austin Soul are going to lose yards and also lose that fantastic undercut from Kyle Hinkey.
I will say, this is a nice change of pace. In the AUDL, it used to be a turnover when there was a travel.
Oh, wow.
And now they just lose what looks like
10 yards, I believe, yep.
It used to be just a straight turnover, so at least the Soul gets to keep the disc.
Yeah, no,
It
that would
used
be
to
rough.
It would have been Atlanta's disc.
And so now we see Max Cook swinging into the middle to DJ. DJ has a deep shot to Ethan, but doesn't like it. Swings it around, being chill once again. And this time, Max Cook has a wide open Kyle Hinkey.
Who just milks it
I mean-
right into the end zone for his sixth score of the night.
If you had asked me at the start of the game, I would have said he got lucky. I would have said that Kyle Hinkey's just been hanging around the deep space and letting the old guys throw it to him. But with his sixth score of the game, at some point you're going to have to admit that Kyle Hinkey is doing good things, running hard, getting open, and maybe Atlanta just giving him too much space.
Yeah, I gotta say, a couple weeks ago he announced that he's going to be playing at the World Club Championships this summer
Oh,
with
right.
the Danish national team.
Oh,
so
dang.
I think this is a good pickup.
Because he's
for
also
Ragnarok.
doing one of the under like 20 teams.
No,
or
that
something.
would be Elliot Moore.
Oh, they weren't both doing it?
No.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah,
oh,
Kyle's
sorry.
a little too old for it.
Okay, sorry. I do not have my facts
Elliot
straight.
is a year younger
Un-
than Kyle, so
Unlike Dominica, I do not have my facts straight, and it is showing on this broadcast. So we're going to go back into the play-by-play. Matt Smith throwing the disc to 23 for the Atlanta Hustle. I believe that's Choi, and he goes deep shot. He does have 81 open. Whoa! What a
and
sweet
almost
layout.
got it. That was number 81, JP Burns, or Dodo Biscuit.
And he
with the
got on
great
his
play.
horse by about the 30-yard line. He was on his horse going full speed, going 25 yards. Well, probably about more like 40 yards total. Sweet layout. Touched the disc before it touched the ground, but just couldn't grab it. And now Austin, with their D-line, is going to have a great opportunity. Josh Stradowski with the disc. He had Matt Bierschenk cutting for him earlier, but the timing wasn't good. Has to go to Mick Walter instead. Mick Walter doesn't have a whole lot of options, so he dumps back to the middle.
You
can
see Josh Jadowski going a little deep.
Right, I think he's just clearing out. He stopped his run. Aubrey Davis, he
Just
jumped, but
get up.
didn't get up high enough.
And that's Will Lindquist from the hustle with the D.
One would argue that he might have skipped a leg day. And now Atlanta Hustle 1 yard from the end zone, stuck in the corner. Let's see if they swing it or if they jam it. Oh, they're a high stall count. He has to throw a air bounce backhand, and there is
And
a
that's a
stall.
stall.
Yep, stall call. He knew the time was high on that one. Had to throw a real tricksy air bounce backhand, but the ref, local Austin ref, calling that as a stall call, and some confusion as to where they should bring in the disc.
Yeah, I was about to say, it generally comes in where,
where the
player
stall
had
happened,
it,
yeah.
and he had it pretty much on that end zone line.
Okay, so Jay directing the players where to tap it in. Matt Biershank, famously from Nacogdoches, with the disc, bringing it in. He does a bold, bendy backhand. And Bigley, not trusting his player there, is going to call the timeout.
I will say that was a very risky shot there.
Right, yeah, Biershank
from Biershank.
going deep into the tool belt to throw the bouncy backhand over the entire front of the stack.
There definitely just seemed to be a little bit of a height mismatch there. The mark just seemed a lot larger than Crank, so he couldn't really get any better of an option off that sideline.
You can see he's getting some suggestions from the sideline. Everybody loves to give their suggestion as to what they should throw there. You know, thumbers are being talked about, scoobers being talked about.
Everyone's going to shout their opinion
Right,
in,
of
honestly.
course. But Biershank did the same thing, throwing the backhand. And with that timeout call, we are going to get our standard offensive line back in there. As we said before, this is the 5 double white guys plus Paul Starkle and Kyle Hinkie. This has been the standard offensive set for Austin. And on the flip side, we can see the Atlanta Hustle coming out in one of their standard defensive sets.
It'll be interesting to see if they throw the zone on them, or if they honestly.
Right.
I
mean, this
in
would be the place to do
situation,
it.
I would throw a double team.
I
on
would
Jeff
too.
Oscorn here.
Yeah, at least put the double team, maybe put on the zone behind it, because we can see we have the Burns, Matt Smith, Williams. We can see Olsen out there. This is one of their standard D lines that they've been running all night tonight. And they call off Williams to not be on the mark. I guess that was originally going to be a double team, and yet they called it off, and now they're playing more of a standard. Last back, but pretty much person defense. And Austin immediately centering the disc to Tank. Tank wants to dump it, but the dump D is really tight.
And that was a great throw to Max Cook.
Right, that's a really tight space. And I thought that was going to go too far, but Kieran Thomas proves me wrong, gets to it, and now Paul Starkle stuck on the sideline. Little shimmy, gets it off the sideline to Max Cook. Max Cook has an open Ethan Pollock, doesn't go to him though, goes to DJ. DJ hits Kyle Hinkie with a super snag. And now we have a wide open Tank in the end zone. Doesn't throw it to him. Instead goes for the big bendy. And
just doesn't work out for Kyle
Oh,
Hinkie.
man. When you have 5 really safe, confident players, and then you get the one young gun, he pulls out the tricksy flick and causes a turnover. And now Atlanta Hustle goes straight deep shot. Yeah, we got Matt Smith in the back. Oh, my gosh.
And he still catches it.
Oh, my. Absorbs the contact. Goes through the foul. Straight beast mode. And we can see Williams with the push pass. Going to Olsen. That's an incredible score from Atlanta.
That was an absolutely incredible play by Matt Smith.
First off, we get the straight deep shot to start things off. That's the throw decision. And then we have Matt Smith being guarded by DJ, who I would guarantee that a D was going to come out of that. And yet Matt absorbs the contact, absorbs the foul. It was definitely a foul, and then still manages to catch it on his neck with the disc going over the top of his head. Stays chill, hits Williams, number 11, with the disc, who then gives it to Olsen, number 8, for the score. And now we see Austin coming out in a D-line setup, even though they were on offense. Generally, the coach does this to let the O-line kind of think about things anytime they get broken. They like to run one of those D-lines because that D-line is hungry for the disc. I don't think Austin said they were ready, and yet the disc still got pulled. And we are going to determine that it's probably the ref's fault, and it won't be a violation.
Yeah, I'm very confused about what occurred there. It definitely seemed like Austin was going to.
Well, I believe
set up.
originally it must have been some sort of delay of game situation because Austin got penalized.
It might have been actually just a delayed call from DJ's
Oh, right,
foul,
the foul,
so
right.
it affected the pull.
Right, and this time Austin is ready for the disc. They have signaled they are ready, and so we are going to have the real pull. And we have, once again, this is the D line for Austin playing offense. Carlos Vargas picking up the disc
who's a very stable handler.
Right, he does tend to be the one holding the disc on these offensive possessions for this D-line. We have Austin playing chill. We have Chase Cunningham on the side. He has a Jared Wolf deep shot, but I guarantee you number 11 is just daring him to throw that. Oh,
Well,
and this
Brendan
time
Adams
he does.
did it.
Right. And great position from number
Woo!
11. However, Jared Wolf ready for it.
And that's the second time you've
Goes
really
up,
seen that.
throws a sweet scuba.
Right, just in to the hands of Walchclaw.
Absolutely. And that D-line showing us why they love to play offense. It really means something when your D-line can be consistent and chill as they were there and still take those deep shots. That deep throw, it did not float into space. That was a very bendy, almost bladey deep throw intended to confuse the deep. Number 11, who has been having some trouble getting Ds in the deep space. He's been back there. I can actually see him hitting the fence in frustration because he's been in position for a lot of these Ds and just hasn't managed to get up when he needs to. Getting a lot of love from his teammates on the sideline coming around, fist bumping him, telling him, man, you still got this. He will not shy away from that deep spot. And so we see Chase. Chase with the pull.
Yeah, that beautiful pull, it's definitely Chase Cunningham.
So this is the second D-line coming out there.
pulls
However,
it out of
Chase
bounds.
is staying on the field with it. I believe that is the only carryover from – oh, no, Aubrey is also out there. So Chase and Aubrey have stuck over from the line that was just on the field. And so we have another defensive opportunity, and we can see number 99 is getting ISO'd in the middle for Atlanta. And there he goes. Initial cut. He is open. However, the mark from Matt Biershank is a little good.
Woo!
And
he
he had
just
to
drops it.
number
You see
99 had
number
to check his
55
cut.
Just going for the easy dump option.
Oh, Josh Stradowski with a bold move and an amazing layout.
I was almost just, and number 99's taking an injury.
Right, I believe he is cramping up over there potentially, but he also might have hit his knee on the ground. Yeah, he is motioning towards his knee. He did take a hard fall. That was an awkward layout because he had to get up. Wasn't able to wait until the disc got lower, so he had to do a really awkward layout. Sweet D. And earning the disc back. You know, he was the reason for the turnover, but he was also the reason that they got the D. And with that,
It was number 99.
Robert Hunt. Yep. Yeah, we've definitely been calling his name out tonight. He has been involved in the action. But he is going to take a sub.
And it looks like they brought on number 7, Parker Bray.
Yep, Parker Bray came in as a sub for him, and he is the one tapping in the disc. Whoa, my goodness. Risky situation there. But sweet layout grab from number 1 for Atlanta. And I'm not sure where that disc was being thrown to be honest with you. I don't know if that was meant to be a give, go,
Almost the middle of
continue.
nowhere, honestly.
And so Biershank gets things going, thrown to the sideline. I believe that's Jared Wolf. Jared Wolf, yep. Goes to Nicholas Whale. Chase Cunningham was there in the dump space, but, ooh, wow. Josh Stradowski absorbing the contact.
Parker Bray
Getting the
seeming to
snag.
try to go over him for that D.
Right. Man, we can see Atlanta so close on all of these Ds. They're trying so hard out there to get this turnover. Biershank with another classic low flick and with a nifty jump in. I actually didn't see who that was.
I want him to turn so I can see his number.
Right.
'Cause then
I don't
can
want to
get
get it. I was
better-
going to guess it was Brendan Adams. I don't want to guess it wrong.
Yeah. Turn
We're
around.
still trying to see
Turn
the
around.
number.
Oh, yes. Yep. Boone says it over the speaker. It's
Oh, right.
number 27, Brendan Adams.
So Brendan
he had a better
Adams
look than we did.
doing a nifty jump and toe into the end zone. In Ultimate Frisbee, the key is the first point of contact when determining whether things are in bounds or in the end zone. And so in this case, his first point of contact were his toes landing in the end zone, and that counts as a score. It is not like the NFL where the disc has to break the plane. It is only your first point of contact that's important. And with that, Austin Soul got a break, right? That was
Yes,
their
that was a break. That was
Yep.
a D-line.
So after Austin Soul's O-line messed things up, their first D-line came out and got an offensive score, and then their second D-line came out and got a break. And that is how Austin has managed to extend this lead
And we
now
have
to
this
4 points.
Zone coming out again.
Right, this is an awkward zone from the Soul. They don't generally run a zone, but with the wind causing problems, they figure they may as well give this a shot. Force lots of throws out of Atlanta Hustle, but I imagine Matt Smith doesn't have a problem with throwing lots of throws out there. Minch 22 with the disc going to number 8, Olson. He doesn't like to throw through the middle, so he goes back to Matt Smith.
It's definitely an interesting call from the Austin Soul to run this zone because you definitely see Atlanta being a team that really likes
Yeah,
to
they
throw a lot of throws.
they
and
love those
just
short throws.
loves to kind of run the disc this way, so it's definitely an interesting decision
Right,
to
you're-
run
you're-
a zone that puts them where they want to be.
You're playing into their strengths. Oh,
Oh.
a hammer decision from number 8, Olsen. I imagine the coach is gonna have some words with him after this one with that choice. So we go Austin Soul finding Carlos Vargas open. He throws a scoober upfield to the Walsh Claw, gives it to Chase Cunningham. Chase has a wide open Jared Wolf. This throw threaded the needle
And that was
perfectly.
just beautiful ultimate from the Austin Soul.
Absolutely. And this time you really can't blame Calvin Williams for that, because that motion was too good, the timing was too good, and then the throw, that is a difficult throw, getting put on a line straight to Jared Wolf. You could hear him calling for it. He knew as soon as Chase Cunningham caught it at around the 50, Jared Wolf had about a 5-yard jump on his defender, and he was just hoping that Chase would give him the opportunity, and he does. And we can see Chase staying out there for this defensive point. Chase is really beginning his playtime.
Chase-
Loves to stick out there for the D-lines.
Chase is actually leading the Soul in assists right now,
Mhm.
and is actually one of the leading AUDL assist leaders.
Right.
And not turnover leaders, which is something we like seeing that's
Right. So
different than
as
last
much as I
year.
like to rip on Chase for making bad decisions, he also makes a lot of good decisions, and he has throws a lot of people just don't have. Scoobers, big lefty backhands, big lefty flicks, and he's showing you why that's important today. So Atlanta Hustle coming out. We can see them running standard horizontal stack. They go back to the middle.
Oh, and Chase, there we go. We can give him a little
Right.
ish now.
Right, he was okay giving that throw up. We can see Chase switching off of players. We got Bray with the Frisbee, trying to hit Bush in the middle, but doesn't. Decides to go deep instead.
And just, I am not sure who that was for. I think
Well, I mean, it was definitely for player, and by player I mean actually player Pierce number 4. Definitely to him in the deep space, but the wind kind of hit that backhand, hit the lip of that backhand, and threw it way out the back of the end zone.
it definitely feels like the wind must be just a little swirlier on the field.
On the field itself, yeah, because up here we really don't feel it. It's like at most a 10-mile-an-hour gust. But
Oh, and this is an interesting.
Right. So right after I said Chase makes good decisions, he comes out with a crossfield hammer going back corner, and the wind kind of put it up in the air a little bit too much. And with that, we have a short field turnover. Nicholas Whale running hard on D, can't get the mark set, and Josh Radowski getting beat. And that is number 7,
Parker Bray
Parker Bray, getting his name called once again, running into the end zone.
making up for that interesting backhand blade
Oh, of
from
course.
the previous play.
Right. I guarantee you that looked better in his head than it turned out on the field.
I know how that feels.
Right. I imagine that a lot of people who are listening right now that play Ultimate Frisbee can remember a time when they thought the throw was going to be better than it actually turned out to be. So I think we can all feel a little bit of sympathy. And with that, Atlanta Hustle coming out in their D-line. They've had a lot of success with this D-line. This is the
The 401k line over here for the
right,
Austin Soul.
against the standard offensive line for the Austin Soul. This is still the Paul Starkle, Kyle Hinkie version, right? Yeah, the 5 old guys plus Paul Starkle and Kyle Hinkie. And they have showed us why they are so good. They come out with a side stack,
Ooh, they ran a
but this
flood.
side stack was not intended to ISO the guy in the middle. It was to get the guy in the back open. And Ethan Pollock's throw went too hot for Kyle Hinkie. Once again, running in the backspace, trying to get his 7th score of the day. But that throw did not stay up in the air. It went a little bit too hot. And now Atlanta, with a very potent offensive set out there, is going to get the disc going. They start out with a little dump set. Kyle Hinkie with
Wow!
a sweet layout D. That turnover wasn't even Kyle's fault, and yet he got the disc back. You could tell as soon as that up cut happened, that up the line cut happened, Kyle Hinkie was just daring the offense to throw it. He knew he could get close enough to it. And now Austin Soul with DJ bringing in the disc, fakes the scoober and goes to Kyle Hinkie for the
and
bookends.
that's bookends for Kyle Hinkie.
Right, let's see
And
which-
there's Elliott.
Yeah, there's Elliott Moore celebrating Stitch
The two
Bros
Stitch
style
Bros.
with Stinky Hinkie.
It's just an interesting way that both of their names just lead so well to that stinky
Right.
name, because
Right.
you've got Stinky Hinkie and then you have Smelliot. It just seems interesting that it just seems to work so well for the Stench Bros.
Absolutely. I don't know if that was created after the fact, or if they kind of made things work after one of them threw a bad throw. Called it Smelly and then realized their name was Smelly. Not entirely sure the history on that one. If you know, post it in the YouTube comments. And we can see Chase Cunningham with a big old rip. Was Chase in the last point?
No, he was
Oh, okay.
not.
He
That
actually
was
did take a
their
rest.
401k.
I was going to say, that's right. I was going to say, man, 4 points in a row.
Oh,
So, yeah.
almost turfed that into the ground.
Right. So we can see
Was-
Austin Soul coming into person defense. We had number 8, Olson, with the disc, throwing it to Matt Smith, number 12. He doesn't have any continue options, though, so he's going to go back dump to Olson. Olson doesn't have any continue options once again. We can see Austin Soul playing a really poachy defense, taking away the easy options. And instead, Atlanta Hustles had to work it around. Matt Smith was open, but the throw floated up too much. And now we have Chase Cunningham with the disc, getting double teamed on the sideline. Chase has no problems getting out of the double team. Going to 35 for Austin. Hitting Walsh in the middle, Chase open on the sideline. We have a streaking Cameron going deep. However, the double team stopping Chase from throwing the deep throw has to go back through the middle to Carlos Vargas, who has an open deep shot to Walsh, and that's going to be a difficult snag. That's going to hit the wind and float. What a sweet D.
Goes up with those claws that we know him all so well for.
Absolutely. And we can see on the defense, I believe it was 81, right?
It's 84, which
Oh, we don't have the
actually
number
do
for
not
that.
have 84 listed on our
Dang,
on
I
our
want to
roster
call him
here.
out for a sweet D. He was not in good position. The
If
timing
anybody-
definitely caught him out.
If anybody knows who number 84 is and would like to give us a name in the YouTube comments, we'd really appreciate it. We
Yes,
want to give these
please.
Atlanta Hustle players their due.
Because that was a nice D. He got right there. He might have even touched the disc on it coming from the back. But doesn't manage to get it. And with that, we are going to see Austin coming out in one of their D lines. This is the Mick Walter, Josh Stradowski, Matt Biershank D line. Also Aubrey Davis out there.
Our nice tall to short line.
Right.
Probably the two tallest people on the team, with Matthew Biershank, our lovely shortest person on the team.
And we can see Atlanta Hustle coming out in an
Ooh.
interesting stack. It's kind
Side
of like
note.
they had like a 2 stack with an open middle of the field situation.
Also, number 84 has turned around. His last name is Newman. So
Ooh, okay,
we
Knowles.
can call him that from now
No, that was
on.
not Knowles. Sorry, got that wrong. Now Knowles has it. Number 3 has an open number 14 in the middle. Double team from Austin, trying to stop them from throwing the break, but however Atlanta breaks both of them. Bush giving the disc back to Knowles, hitting Minch on the sideline. Minch goes straight deep shot. He has number 4, player Pierce, open in the backspace. Cameron, this time Cameron does get the D, and the ref says no foul. He's going to say clean on that. There was definitely contact, but they must have said that it was 50-50 and that the space was not declared to be for the Atlanta Hustle player.
Just a great play by Cameron, really making sure he gets that space.
Yeah, I mean, the most he can do is just be there, right?
And we're
he-
under the 30-second mark right now for the Austin Soul for the third quarter.
Correct. And Austin Souls managed to run away with things in this third quarter. It's been very important for them. They were only up 13-10 at the start of it and went on a 9-3 run. Biershank with the disc. He has a couple open players deep. I would love to see Mick get in that end zone. However, Mick's going to be the one holding the disc with 8 seconds left. Gets it to Biershank. Biershank is going to have to throw a hammer, or Aubrey's going to have to throw a hammer. Somebody's going to have to throw something here. Aubrey bends a flick. Man, why not go to Mick or Cameron? What are the guys looking for? Instead, he goes to Josh Stradowski, trying to hit him in the corner. Doesn't work out. I guess, that's kind of a first world problem to be complaining about not scoring on the buzzer. At least Austin Soul stops Atlanta Hustle from scoring. But with that, Atlanta kind of dodges a bullet, only being down by 6 going into the third quarter.
What do you think really attributes to this run that we saw from Austin?
It was
in
very
this third
strange.
quarter?
I mean, as I said, we had the offensive line for Austin. They were scored on. They got broken. And then Austin came back with their D-line, first one that scored, and then their second D-line got a break. And I believe that was one of the key moments in that third quarter. However, I can't really explain the rest of it because they were only up by 3 at the start, and now they're up by 6.
And we've gotten an update from the YouTube comments.
Okay.
Number 84 is Austin Taylor. He
Austin
borrowed
Taylor.
whoever Newman's is kits for the weekend, it looks like, because he's listed
Okay.
as number 2 on this lovely roster I have right
Gotcha.
here.
Okay, so Austin Taylor
So
is
thank
the
you
one.
to Newman, whoever you are, for lending Austin your kits for the weekend.
And we appreciate all of the Atlanta fans watching on YouTube telling us. That was Rebecca Chase. We appreciate you.
If you have any more fun facts about the Atlanta Hustle, please let us know in the comments below.
Right, and we will not be able to verify those facts, so
But we will report them.
but we will report them. So yeah, go ahead, give us whatever fun facts you want about the Atlanta Hustle team.
Or the Austin Soul. We'd also love whatever facts you can give us about the Austin Soul.
Right.
Again, not verifiable, but will be reported. And we're going to see Austin actually receiving what looks like to be on O for the start of this fourth quarter.
Correct. They got that 401k line out there.
I wonder if they appreciate that nickname. We'll have to ask them.
We'll
about
have to
that
ask them
later.
after this, yeah.
It's like, do you enjoy the fact that all of you have retirement accounts?
Well, hopefully everybody has a retirement account that's working, but
I
at
don't.
least
Again, college.
they're counting down the years until they draw out of it. We will take this moment to give a shout out to Scout Real Estate. Scout Real Estate is an Austin-based firm built for smart and sustainable urban growth, represented by longtime Ultimate player Rob Seidenberg. Scout's unique blend of residential, commercial, and mixed-use expertise delivers creative solutions and winning results. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, condo, or commercial property, get in touch with Rob at Scout, Austin's ultimate realtor.
And with that, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. We have the Austin Soul up 19-13, building their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, I'm not used to the Austin Soul building a lead in the third quarter. That normally happens in the first and second, and then it gets a lot tighter by the end of the game.
I'm okay with this.
I'm also okay with it, but then again, we are biased commentators for the Austin Soul, full disclosure. And we see Kieran Thomas somehow one-handedly snagging that, getting it to Tank in the middle of the field. Tank has Ethan Pollock open deep, and he does take this option. Tank doesn't gamble very often, so you know that's a safe bet.
And that was a beautiful throw. You definitely saw number 33, Devin Rogers, kind of trying to close in on
Right.
that play, but just couldn't get there in time. Would have been fun to maybe see a full extension layout.
I mean,
from
may
him,
as well,
but
right? We got the cameras rolling. Go end up on YouTube on a highlight somewhere. But yeah, that one's definitely not his fault. That was on the break side. I'm sure he's yelling at his teammates at the moment for not putting on the mark. And we can see Austin coming out in one of their D lines.
It's the D line that ended the third quarter.
Oh, right. Yep. This is the Mick Walter, Josh Stradowski, Carlos Vargas. We also see Jared Wolf out there. We can see a Aubrey Davis and a Matt Biershank. And then the last person. I
This
think
is their white line.
okay, white line
as
is the
they've
term.
been nicknamed.
I don't know if
Oh.
we are allowed to disclose that proprietary information or not. However, you heard it here first, Dougal Sports. Go ahead and mash on that like button for those of you all watching the stream on the computer or on your phone. But make sure to mash it an even number of times so that it ends up in the activated state. And we can see that pool going out of bounds.
It
And
was
so-
actually determined offsides
Oh, is that what it
from
was?
the beginning, so it's coming in at half field.
Okay, well, you caught me not paying attention. And now Atlanta Hustle getting the disc, coming in on the 50.
Kyle Stapleton coming in with the disc,
Throwing
getting it
it-
to Matt Smith.
Right, and Matt
Oh,
Smith-
with the hammer.
Beast mode hammer.
And Parker Bray just reels that one in.
I was going to say they're going to have to score quickly to make sure they have enough clock left to get this game back in reach, and they do exactly what they needed to do, which is 2 throws and a hammer score. Once again, if your Summer League team is having problems out there, I know a lot of y'all are playing Summer League, go ahead and try throwing more hammers. That was very successful for Greg and I on the Shellbound to Huck City team that we operated several years ago. We introduced the more hammer policy, and we ended up winning games. So pro tip for all the people at home that are running a Summer League team out there.
More hammers win games.
More hammers, they win games.
And they also just make the fans happy.
Yep. And we get the pull from Atlanta Hustle. This is going to, the standard offensive line for the Austin Soul.
And you
Yeah.
definitely see this zone coming out. Oh, with this nice hammer to
Right.
Ethan
At this
Pollock.
point, they're just skipping throwing those breaks, and they're going straight to the hammers. They have played this zone enough tonight to know where the gaps are. Oh, sweet layout. I believe that was from Bray on that one.
Oh, and just moving too fast right there. And I almost didn't even see Parker Bray on that sideline.
Right.
Thought that disc was about to go into the ground. Oh, and there he is pulling up that
Right.
really.
And so Bray swinging the disc back around. They're trying to take advantage of this
Oh.
transition.
And that wind just killed that blade. It looked like it was
Right.
going to go straight.
On a normal stagnant day, that throw would have been perfect. But tonight, with the wind being very swirly, it's not necessarily strong, but it's just inconsistent. Catches them off guard. And now the Austin O-line, which doesn't turn it over very often, gets their second chance. And why did I say that? Because as I say that, the throw goes through the hands of Kyle Hinkie, who was perfect in his first game of the season, has now made a couple mistakes tonight. But then again, that's what happens when you get more responsibility. And Tank turning back the hands of time to get that D. And now he's going to wait to catch this
And
one with
that's
two hands.
bookends for
Right,
Mike
that-
Natenberg.
That might be some of the easiest bookends that Tank has ever had in his life. He smiled into the ref on that one because he knows he was just happened to be in the right position to get the D and then kept on running. And with that, got the disc and the score. And
It was definitely a good play. It almost looked like I missed who the handler was on that point, but it looked like he was looking for number 20, Josh Bush, and Tank's player just kind of came into that space, maybe thinking the disc was for him, and it just caused Tank to really
Right.
get in there and get
Right.
that D.
we can see Atlanta Hustle likes to run their handlers very close to each other at the front of the vertical stack. And although that's good for the handlers to throw short throws, that ends up being also good for the defense because they're in there close. And now we have Austin with Chase Cunningham pulling the disc. That is a big, huge pull. We're going to see Atlanta Hustle let the disc drop. They're a little bit scared to catch it.
And this is this zone line coming out again. You see Carlos Vargas and Elliot Moore in this almost two-man cup
Right.
situation.
Making them run hard. And I believe the intention is just to drain as much of the clock as possible.
And that's just not really working
Not
right
really
now.
working because Atlanta loves to do that give-go. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
and an uncharacteristic drop from Matt Smith.
And now he's got to play defense because if there's anybody who would love to throw it deep, it's Chase Cunningham. Would love to repay Elliot Moore on a good run deep. And Chase actually has a great matchup if they can take advantage of it.
And there it goes.
Right, this is not
This
a great
is
throw,
Interesting.
but the matchup is fantastic for Austin. Yep, we can see Chase getting up. And he has Cameron in the end zone, but does not throw it to him. A little bit too risky. Instead gets fouled, and now Chase is walking the disc to the front of the end zone. For those of you all new to watching ADL, if you get fouled close to the end zone, they will
It's
bring it
within
up.
that 10-yard
Within
limit.
that 10-yard, you can bring it up to the front and the middle, and easy lefty backhand from the left-handed thrower, Chase Cunningham. Throwing
Perks of
it,
being a lefty, really.
right, absolutely. Throwing it to Jared Wolf. Snags it on a quick, simple ISO, and it's really unfortunate because the Atlanta Hustle are coming out. They're playing hard. Their spirits are high on the sideline, high-fiving each other, and yet just making little mistakes, and Austin being super clutch,
What
getting
do
the
you
scores.
think Atlanta would really have to do to get back into this game right now? We see right now
Right.
there's a 8-point lead right now for the Soul.
Yeah, so I mean, I always say this when I'm playing myself. If one team could score 8 points, the other team could score 8 points. You know, Atlanta just has to do exactly what Austin has done in the past, 10 minutes or so, and make sure to convert every time you get a turnover and stay 100% solid on offense. We've seen from Atlanta they're able to get quick scores. They're able to utilize that hammer, able to utilize those give-goes against the zone. So they have all the tools necessary. They just need to be a little bit solid on their offensive line.
And wow, Parker Bray just drops the disc right
See,
there.
it almost seems contagious, the turnovers. This is looking a little bit too similar to the Austin Soul Dallas Roughnecks game last week,
And
where Austin was the
just
team.
punching it in right there. Now up 9 points on the number 1 team in the South Division. Seems a little, the South Division seems a little crazy this year, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I mean, you have Austin with a loss to Nashville
Right.
after they had beaten Atlanta by 1 point the night before. We know they lost DJ for that Nashville game, but do we think there's anything different coming from this Austin team this time around?
Well, it almost seems like it's a new team every night because I would have loved to see this super solid offensive line play in that Dallas game, because that was one of the things that really let down Austin in that Dallas game. But this game they've been super solid. D-line's been getting breaks and scores. So yeah, I have to imagine that this division is going to come down to the last week. It's been super tight, and we can see Atlanta receiving the disc.
It really seems like it's anyone's game about who's going to go to the playoffs right now for this division.
And Atlanta Hustle have an important game tomorrow night against Dallas.
It just, it really seems like the turnovers are contagious right now for the Atlanta Hustle.
Absolutely.
That's a throwaway there. It looked like from number 14.
Correct.
Adam Burgess.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw it to Knowles. Just kind of hit in the wind and blading. And now we see Austin on deal. High stall count. Vargas puts it up. It just happens to throw it to probably the best option on the field, Chase Cunningham, who jukes both defenders doing a fake jump.
Wow.
And then does his second real jump to catch it.
And that is now a 10-point lead.
And then dunks the disc over the uprights in celebration. Austin Soul up 24-10. And as much as I would love for this game to get back close, you just have to imagine Atlanta at some point is going to shut things down and start saving energy for tomorrow night.
Yeah, really, what is you think about what the strategy is with the South Division so close as it has been. Do you start resting players to try to come out
to be honest with you, if I were the coach, I would still be running my offense and my defense just the same as before, because you gotta work out all the problems they're having at the moment. So I have to imagine Atlanta Hustle's not going to change anything in these last 8 minutes. They're going to keep running things the same as before and look to get some confidence going into tomorrow night's game.
There you see Austin Taylor reeling in that pole.
Hitting Choi, going to number 81.
Which is JP Burns or Dodo Biscuit.
Giving it back. I believe he has the disc again.
Very nice find there. Oh,
quick,
almost.
Quick give goes. Atlanta trying to do what I imagine they work on in practice, which is quick motion, quick short throws.
Oh.
And although they're dropping things, they're still catching it. They're not letting it hit the ground, which has to be good for their confidence.
Yes, JP Burns really seems to be taking over this point for Atlanta.
He's been just about every other throw. Oh, no.
Oh, and that is a ridiculous bid from Mick Walter.
Right. Somebody get that man some buckets. He's running full speed.
You generally don't see the tall guys going for the big layouts.
Well, I would normally say that, but after playing with Mick Walter for a year in special tactics, I know for a fact that guy had the most layout Ds. He loves to play defense. And now you can see him with the disc again. We can hear Mick chants from the crowd. A lot of his Moon Tower teammates are back there. And we see a deep shot from Aubrey Davis to Josh Stradowski, who goes up through the contact and gets the score. Josh Stradowski punching in the conversion for that D-line. And as it's been all night long, Austin Soul kind of sitting back on defense, forcing a lot of throws, waiting for the turnover, and then when the turnover happens, they unleash their tall people to go run deep. And Atlanta Hustle has been struggling with getting those turnovers back when their O-line turns it over. It's been kind of the name of the game so far.
I will say that O-line probably ran it the cleanest I've seen out of any of the lines. It just happened to be that Mick Walter really came out with a great
a little too greedy at the end.
Play.
Wanted to do the give-go backhand, and Mick Walter was waiting for it and got the snag. It's kind of crazy because this is definitely the largest margin of victory or loss for Atlanta in the season. Most of their games have been very tight. This is the first game to kind of get out of control. Oh, they have a wide open deep runner in the back corner. They're not going to go to him, though.
Definitely looks like Ethan Pollock just wants to bait that.
Right.
Just like, go ahead and throw it.
Olsen working with Williams on the sideline. Williams was open once again, but they're not going to give it to him. He's still open. I guess Chase is aware of it. And we can see Matt Smith with the disc right on the end zone line. He fits that tight space against Cameron. And
really,
Atlanta Hustle getting the score.
Matt Smith and Christian Olsen, just really two solid players, just two great captains for this team that really work well together. They've worked really well together. I mean, all the seasons that I've seen them play together for Atlanta since they started coming to Austin to play the Soul.
Yeah, I guarantee you they don't think this game is over. They can look at that clock, and you can tell from their energy on the field, they're still working just as hard as they were. They love those give-goes. They love those strike cuts. They love that tight space. Let's see if their D-line can get a break for them.
That's definitely something critical that they need right now.
And we can see player Pierce with a big flick huck.
Just kind of stops at about the 35-yard line
Right.
and just sinks.
But it does give their team time to set up their zone. I mean, if anything, Atlanta wants to get this D as fast as possible, so the deep pull is not really necessary. We see a lot of teams rolling the disc out of bounds when they really want to save time, but not doing that yet. So Ethan Pollock on the sideline, working with Tank in the middle. He has Kieran Thomas, who doesn't throw it to him, instead goes to DJ in the middle.
I've never really seen the Hustle be the team to really utilize that roll out of bounds pull.
Yeah, but I mean, they're down in this game, so let's see if they adopt the strategy.
It's definitely a strategy that I feel like has to be kind of practiced a little bit.
You
have to
play
kind of know
defense
to set
after
up that double team.
We see a high stall count from Tank, and yet he still gets it off. And Paul Starkle
With that assist.
finding
Very nice.
a very tight space, going to Ethan Pollock to get the score. And with that, Austin Soul go up.
They're still up 11.
Yeah, 26-15.
Definitely, I mean, when you look at this rivalry and we think about all of the games that I know I've seen here, either between House Park or other Austin locations that we've had these games, or games that I've seen on live streams in Atlanta, it almost seems like they're determined by double overtime,
Right.
or like a last-minute play.
Yep.
I'm going to get the number wrong, and anyone can correct me in the YouTube comments. But I saw something like 5 out of the last 6 games or something have been decided by 1 point.
Yep.
And anybody that's closer to a computer / on a computer watching right now can correct me on that, and I will completely accept it. But this is definitely not the game I thought I was going to come see tonight.
Yeah, and it was a lot closer at the start, too. So we can see Choi with the disc, number 23 for Atlanta, giving it to number 10.
Danny on.
Swinging it back around.
Austin Taylor, our number 84 / number 2 situation.
Yep. We have them stuck on the sideline, but they managed to get it off to Burns, going back to Choi, who has an open. Oh, wow. Very close. Nicholas Whale almost got to him. However, Atlanta's showing what they do best, which is to swing it around, gain some yards, swing it around, gain some yards.
You have number 10, Danny on, right on the end zone line, and just, sinks right into what looks like Will Lindquist's hands. Had to kind of slide and get that.
Super nice offense from Atlanta, showing us what they've been working on. Quick throws, nice use of the continued space up the line. Gets a dump, swing back around. We can show that is good standard offense from them. Let's see if their defense can come out. We'll take this moment to shout out that our medical support today is provided by Texas Physical Therapy Specialists, the official physical therapist of the Austin Soul. Do you have neck or back pain? Talk to Texas Physical Therapy Specialists about their nationally recognized non-surgical treatment options to get your back to feeling great. Find out more at, let me read the thing, texpts.com. And now Atlanta Hustle pulling the disc off. We can see their zone defense line coming out. Let's see if they come out in the zone. Oh, yeah, number 20 is running hard. That's
He
Burns.
almost lost his hat.
Almost lost his hat. He was running so hard. That's because he had to get down the mark.
It almost looks
And-
like they've set more of a man up, actually, this
Yeah,
point.
and I don't know if that's in response to the Austin's offense. Austin came out in a very strange offense. They had kind of 2 stacks on both sidelines, leaving the middle open. And we can see Kyle Hinkey working it with Ethan Pollock, going to DJ, hitting Kyle back again, running horizontally across the field. He has Ethan Pollock open deep. Kyle Hinkey doesn't have to be told twice to throw that. Ethan positioning again, and this time,
Just
huge
couldn't get
D.
the positioning. I wouldn't necessarily say anything bad about. Oh,
And Atlanta's going to call a timeout. Yep, they're going to take this opportunity to get their O-line in there. J.P. Burns reading the disc better than Ethan Pollock did. Ethan Pollock had an initial read on it, didn't like it, had to reposition, and then after the repositioning was unable to get in there and get his hand on the disc. Burns playing too good, going and knocking it out of the air.
this is a really smart call by the Atlanta Hustle. You definitely want to get a break. There's 4.5 minutes left in this game, and you definitely want to see some more points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to have that going into tomorrow night's game. You want to know that your D-line can go out there and get breaks. You want to know that you can sub, put your offensive line in there, and they can convert. So we're seeing some key information for the coach for the hustle, seeing how his players respond to this type of situation. And we're going to see if they come out in their standard kind of ISO, the middle guy offense, or if they try to do something a little crazier. And on the flip side, let's see if Austin comes out with a double team, or if they're just going to settle into their usual bend but don't break person defense.
Yeah, it'll be a really interesting look to see what happens and what comes from the defense in this sort of respect.
Right, so we can see, for the most part from the Soul, it's person defense. Don't see anything wonky, and I don't believe there's going to be a double team. For the most part, everybody's matched up one-on-one. From the Atlanta Hustle, we are seeing a vertical stack, and they tend to try to work with the front of the stack and the dump to get some movement and then continue from that. Let's see if they do that same sort of offense.
Yep.
We have the disc being tapped in from the end zone because that's where the timeout was called. Oh,
And
they went immediate
wow.
dump. And-
Uncharacteristic, just, looks like
that
there
a
might have
foul?
been a foul call. I was wondering why that throw came off so weird from Parker Bray.
And it must have been a foul on the cut because they're keeping the disc with the throw, with the intended receiver. So it must not have been on the throw. Must have had Jared Wolf with some grabby hands, not letting his player get away from him. We can see Bush with a sweet deep run, but they're not going to give it to him. And
I see.
instead go to Minch, who has a nice layout snag, getting it back, number 4 to Pierce. Working it. Going back to number 20, Bush. Going back to the middle to 87. And oh, wow.
And that
Cameron
was-
managing to get in there.
That was Carlos Vargas with the D. Good to see him getting some stats on the board.
And now we have Chase Cunningham. Is that Chase? Yeah, Chase checking in the disc. Tried to go jump, but the D was too tight. And we could see Jared Wolf causing the defender to try and lay out point block. Unsuccessful.
And that's Elliot Moore bringing in a score.
And Austin Soul converting, doing what they needed to do.
Just an unfortunate set of points from the Atlanta Hustle.
Right. I mean, it is difficult to comprehend. I mean, the Atlanta Hustle hasn't played a whole lot of teams in the South Division. They've mostly played Tampa Bay and Nashville, so I haven't seen a whole lot out of them. However,
They played the Soul once already this
Oh, did
season,
they?
and they've played Raleigh. They beat
okay, I must have missed that on my stat
Yeah.
sheet then.
whatchamacallit, Austin Soul did a road trip to
Oh,
Atlanta
right,
and
right.
Nashville, where they beat Atlanta by 1 point on
And then
Saturday
lost to
and
Nashville.
lost to
That's
Nashville
right.
on the next day.
That's right. Yeah, so it's a very strange game. We're kind of at a loss for words from the commentator booth what happened in this game.
And I'd
Oh.
honestly be shocked to see that they haven't played Raleigh yet. They should have at least played Raleigh so far this season.
Right. I mean, we are early in the season. This is week 8 in the AUDL. There are 16 weeks. So still a lot of time left to come. What
Ooh.
a snag. He's technically not in the end zone, though.
And that was number 33, Devin Rogers, with the snag.
And they're going to call him for a travel. I don't entirely know how. It seemed like he set his feet and tapped the disc in, but maybe he tapped it in the wrong place.
I don't know if that's really a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not entirely sure why. Ref saw something I didn't see. So travel call, he has to go move back 10 yards. He's going to throw it, and that time he was in. Number 99, Robert Hunt, towing it in right behind the line, beating Kyle Hickey, getting the snag. And Atlanta Hustle scoring on offense.
And I have a shout out wanted from Kolakovic, because I had to ask how to say his last name.
Okay,
So here's your shout out. I hope you enjoy it and you're enjoying Beach Nationals.
nice. I don't have anything to follow up with that, but I'd like to involve the people watching in the crowd. We can see a pretty standard D-line coming out from Atlanta. They tend to run their zone when they come out in this D-line.
And we have our 401k line coming out for the Austin Soul. I will
yeah.
say, these pulls have been pretty great
Yeah, once they got used
from
to
the
the wind.
Atlanta Hustle.
Right, once they got used to the wind early on in the game, they've all been on point. We can see Hankey being guarded by Williams, number 11, throwing to Starkle, being guarded by Bush, number 20.
Wow, just a really cheeky hammer right there.
Yeah, Max Cook with the scuba going in the middle, finding Ethan Pollock. Eventually he throws deep to Michael Nadenberg. Going in
Or
the deep
our
space.
affectionately known Tank,
Going in the deep space. He does keep the feet in,
the husband of Kara Crouch.
of course.
Kara Crouch, probably one of my favorite women in Ultimate.
Oh, absolutely. I will not miss the opportunity to shout out to Kara Crouch.
Texas Melee alum, my lovely team.
Right, world
our
champion.
Callahan winner from our team way back in
Absolutely.
the day.
Absolutely.
Absolute, just
Definitely
amazing
the
woman athlete.
definitely the better half of the power couple duo.
I would say, non-biased.
Right. I'm also going to take this opportunity to complain. I was on a summer league team one time with Take Kara. However, due to their world's practice schedule, they had to drop from the summer league team, and so I did not get to play with them. So yeah,
I would be sad. I would be sad about that.
So
too.
yeah, about 6 to 8 years after the fact, they finally get to hear me complain about that. And with that statement, Austin Soul pulling the disc, Atlanta Hustle receiving it. We have Pierce with it, finding the not 84, going eventually deep to.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Chase tried really hard to try to mess up Parker Bray, but Parker
Right.
Bray just had eyes on that disc the entire
And
time.
Parker Bray's been doing that all night long. He's been getting sweet snags in the end zone. He had a layout snag in the end zone. He's been putting in work on offense. Atlanta Hustle showing us they have the tools to score quickly. I don't think that's Austin Soul playing lazy on defense. I think they are trying as hard as they can.
Yeah,
Atla-
I got to say, that's just a really hard huck to play defense on. It was
Right.
really well placed, and it was also, even though it was the same third huck.
Right.
We always say that's a big no-no in Ultimate,
right, at the college level, most definitely.
but if you can hit that huck and
Right.
you can hit it that beautifully down the sideline,
Right, and you
the
practice
defender
it.
has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely. And we see teams like the Japanese national teams utilizing that type of offense. If you practice it, it is hard to guard. And there is the pull. Austin Soul receiving the disc. They are up 28 to 18. There is a minute 50 left in the game. Not very much time.
At this point, you really think the Austin Soul has this one in the bag.
Right.
Really.
You would imagine they're just going to swing the disc around and kill some clock. But with that being said, you only get 7 seconds of stall count, so you kind of have to take what's available
That was
to
a
you.
great catch there by Paul Starkle.
Right, mostly a great catch, yeah. He goes back to DJ, happy to kind of swing the disc around and just lose some clock. I think they put more time on the clock. Either that or I'm going crazy.
You might be going a little crazy.
I might be going crazy. We see Max Cook streaking up the line. He's open. And he's going to turf it again. That has to be down, right? Yeah, Max Cook with his second turf of the game going in for the score. Also
it's
on a
definitely an
flick.
interesting call, seeing as we definitely would think that
Right, just kill the clock, right? With that being said, Austin is not the best at clock management. They might need to take a class or two.
Cecil's not on the field. It's fine.
Wasn't going to call anybody out by name. And so Atlanta Hustle moving the disc
Flatball
quickly.
did it earlier. It's fine.
Moving the disc quickly. Robert Hunt getting it back to Olsen.
Just a large mark there from Ethan Pollock.
Right, but he's used to it. Scoobers it out of there. And now Atlanta Hustle punching it in.
And that's a
to
break for the Hustle,
number 81, JP Burns.
or our affectionately nicknamed earlier Dodo Biscuit.
Yeah, I'm not going
As
to
we would
perpetuate
like to
that.
say, Sold Out really came out with that nickname. We don't in any way are affiliated with it. We
Right.
just kind of have been carrying it on for the second half of this game. I hope you like the nickname and know it's out of love and for real appreciation.
Yeah, that one's not going to be continued. Once again, since we're winding down here, I want to give a big shout out to all the people watching the live stream, particularly all the Atlanta Hustle people that managed to find this live stream. I know we didn't promote it very well. I appreciate y'all joining the channel. If you enjoy our broadcast, want to watch similar broadcasts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We don't have a Twitter at Dougal Sports. We are still in the dark ages, so subscribing to the channel is the best way to find out when we will have future streams. And there's the pull from Atlanta. There's only 36 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time.
Chase kind of just walked over the disc there.
Right.
Didn't really seem too inclined to really pick it up in any sort of word.
Right,
It looks
if-
like he might get.
If
Oh,
the Austin Soul aren't down by 3 points with 30 seconds left, Chase doesn't really get excited about it. And with this, Aubrey Davis making the cut up the line has Matt Beershank knocked down. He has a open Aubrey Davis, but he stops his cut, swings it back around. I think Austin at this point, well, I was going to say they're just going to milk the clock, but with Chase cutting him with the disc, he might just throw it.
doesn't really have a mark anymore, so
Well,
he
he
wasn't getting
does
stalled.
now. Wait, what is the stoppage?
There was looks like a pit called downfield.
Oh, he's just holding it. Okay. He knew that it was the end of the
Oh,
game.
that was interesting.
Right.
I was very confused about that.
Yeah,
but
the stall probably should have been going, but they're going to say whatever. And with that, the Austin Soul are going to win the game 28-19. It was 13-10 at the start of the third quarter, at which point Austin Soul went on a 9-3 run to make it 19-13. And that was really the turning point in this game. Were those moments where the D-line came out and were super consistent. What were your closing thoughts on this one, Dominica?
I love watching the Soul win, but I'm also very biased.
Right. So yeah, it is nice for us after coming off of that Dallas game to see some good play from the Austin Soul. We are hoping that the Atlanta Hustle can get their stuff together for their game tomorrow night.
We'd love to see them beat the Dallas Roughnecks.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely. We are all in this one together. We really want to see them take down the Dallas
It
Roughnecks.
almost seems like they're the Yankees right now.
I mean, to us they are. You have to imagine that we feel like Boston Red Sox to the Dallas Roughnecks Yankees, getting beat down every time, being in a division with a good team. So yeah, Atlanta, please do us a favor and beat Dallas tomorrow night. They're going to think they're going to have an easy game, but Atlanta's going to come out firing. They came down to Texas for one reason, and that was to play Ultimate Frisbee. So we will see what they do tomorrow night.
But
So
yeah.
once again, big shout out to everybody watching the game. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check back in with us June 9th. We are going to have the game against Dallas here in Austin. So get ready for that one. Thank y'all, and see you next time.